Hello YouTube, LJ here, and I wanted to say thank you to a lot of you. You've all been very supportive when it comes to this Gears of War channel. There are a lot of people who have seen my videos, have come over to my Instagram, and you've liked my work and you've supported me throughout. Really appreciate it, and I'm sorry it's been a very long time since I've uploaded a proper video. Hence why you see a lot of stuff in front of you. There is more to the sides, you can't see it, but there is more like over here, hidden off camera. As you guys know, I normally do individual custom reviews, but because it's been a long time since I've done any, I have like 17 figures to show, and my phone doesn't have enough memory for me to record all these videos. So I thought, why not kind of welcome back to doing the custom videos. I'll do an overall show of the 17 that I've made in the time I've not recorded any. This video will be long because I have to scroll through my Instagram to find the stories I've written for some of these guys. But some of these guys I kind of know off by heart, or they're just very simple customs to make. So what I want to do is I want to start off with just a very quick and simple repaint instead of more of a custom. So as you can see, this is the Locust Grunt. He came in the Toys R Us 2 pack with the more silver Marcus. Oh, just knocked the cable. 1 minute. So that's the original Grunt. As you can see, that's the one that came with the Marcus. Sorry. This is my repaint because if you see the poster, the look of this Grunt is very different to the one that we see here. Yeah, the teeth was more yellow, the face was more shaded and dark, the eyes were darker. So I really wanted to capture the more realistic look of what they had on the poster compared to what we got in the box. So that was just a simple repaint. I even lightened up the back because he wasn't supposed to have the really dark grey on the back. He was supposed to be a much lighter grey. So I did that just to make him overall look a bit different, and you can tell there is a difference between the two. They don't actually look that identical anymore, which is nice to know. So I thought I'd start off with a more simple one. Okay, so let's start off with the guy in front. The last video I uploaded was a kind of like a little music video photography I've done with this guy. I have done a lot more photography with him since. This is one of my more favourite modern customs. This is Sergeant Bull. This helmet was actually a casted helmet in resin that I added some milliput horns and a little loop to. His eyes do glow in the dark. And here is his backstory. A man raised on Serra's most largest farm, famous for their large and stud-like bulls. Killian spent a lot of time with the bulls growing up. He's always had an obsession with them until the Locust hit, destroying and levelling their amazing farm. Killian swore he would seek revenge. One day he found a broken horn of Borsch, their biggest and proudest of bulls. Killian attached the horns to his gear helmet and is now known as the Mad Bull, Sergeant Bull. And he takes no shit. So basically, whatever is yeah. So he's basically called Killian Bull. Hence the other obsession with the bulls. And yeah, so in the honor of his prize bull, he welded these horns to his helmet, and so yeah, not like the greatest of stories, but I think he's a pretty cool custom. So he is just a Storm Collectibles Marcus body. I added in this nice rustic metal look to the armor just to give him that difference. I gave him this beautiful helmet that if I can bring him in, focus on, yeah, beautiful helmet. I also gave him the Talon gun just to make him a little bit different. So yeah, he is one of my favourite more modern customs. Right, so now to scroll to a different story. Who is next? Who is the next custom? This is going to take a while, by the way, because I have to scroll through lots of history to get to these stories, so I do apologise. Here we go. Oh, I can't access that guy, and he's the closest. Alright, let me move this guy out. And let me bring this guy forward. Here we go. So this guy here. So as you can see, it's a Marcus Phoenix Gears body with another, let me bring this guy in closer, another casted helmet that I did and that I painted. Let's fix the focus, and there we go. Right. After Sergeant Phoenix was arrested for dereliction of duty and taken to the slab, Colonel Hoffman needed a man like Phoenix to help him in this war. He called upon an old friend, Sergeant Alistair Creed, a highly respected and decorated war hero, mainly trained in hand-to-hand and sidearm use. Creed has killed a lot of people back in Aspho Field, but he has saved more lives than lost. He is just like Hoffman, takes no bullshit, leads a great team of soldiers, and always gets the job done. Creed has a strict no face, no weakness. See your expression. No face, no weakness policy. Creed believes the enemy will always know your secrets if they see any facial expressions, so he keeps his covered. Hoffman thinks he is just an ugly git and won't admit it. After Phoenix's release, Creed shipped over to Anvil Gate. He went MIA before Hoffman had made it there, and no one knows where he is. So yeah, sorry about the stumble. It's a really long story I wrote for this guy. But yeah, so as you can see, he's pretty much Phoenix's body. You know, so it's there's not much there other than a little bit of repaint, you know. And I mean, I'm not angry about him. I'm not angry about him. But yeah, so he was just a pretty quick and fun custom to make. So yeah, show him. None of the guys are in order. I should have put them all into order. So let's keep moving, because the next guy is actually this guy. Now his story you guys are going to be happy to hear because it's probably the shortest. His name is Archie Finch, a gear sent to the outpost in a desert facility. He was asked to take a task force to try and recover lost secrets of the UIR and the COG. Nothing much to Archie. His life hasn't been that adventurous. And he's in the freaking desert. So, yeah. So, he's not particularly a gear that's got like an awesome kick-ass, you know, heroic backstory that, you know, everyone owes his life to. He's just one of those guys in the field. So yeah, yet again, another casted helmet from the Storm Collectibles COG Soldier helmet. I had a little COG symbol there, painted it up more desert-like, and yeah, that's pretty much him. Pretty much him. Now to the next story, which I can see who that is. Now, oh god, this is a long story. Right. Oh my god. Okay. This one's actually a really long story. And I don't know if I want to tell that whole thing because it's so long. I'll give you the short gist of this guy. So this is my alternate timeline Ram. He is known as Gladiator Ram. So where in the graphic novels, if you haven't read those, I'm sorry there is a spoiler alert, but in the graphic novels, Srark knows that Ram is planning to trick the Queen into going to the surface. This is based on the fact that Srark actually won the fight and Ram didn't get to go to the surface. He didn't get to trick the Queen. And he's thrown into the deepest of the hollow. He's still quite powerful, so the Queen doesn't want to kill him. But she uses him to interrogate captured soldiers or to kill those who have not really done their duty in the hive and the hollow. So yeah, that is the shortest I can give. See, he's holding a damaged and rusted COG soldier helmet that he broke off of a soldier. His armor is slightly different. He's had to makeshift what he had down in there. He's lost a lot of his respect. His jaw is a bit deformed. Now, technically speaking, in the story, he does get his jaw broken, and that's why it's slightly lopsided. However, the truth behind it is, this is a casted Ram head. It's not an actual Ram head, and he was missing a lot of his chin, so I had to sculpt that chin. So instead of just saying I kind of messed up the sculpting, he had his jaw broken. So that's him. Right. Who is next? All the other people might actually not be down. They might be up. So I'm just double checking. Did I even bring her over? No, I still did. 1 minute. Actually, I'm going to save her for her own video. That custom I'll save for her own video. She deserves that, at least. Yeah, here we go. 2 more people. So let's now talk about... That was a horrible noise, wasn't it? This guy. So, his name is Bossk. Genetically made by Ukon, but Dezond. Yes, I'm making up words now. Right. Genetically made by Ukon, designed by Scourge and Ram. The ultimate weapon if all else fails. The perfect hunter, assassin, warrior. The Queen has no control on him, nor does she know of his existence. He was awoken the day Adam Phoenix was set off to the emotion. See, I'm reading from my laptop that's really low, by the way. I do apologise. Yeah, so stop touching the tripod. Yeah, so he was awoken the day Adam Phoenix went to set off the emulsion countermeasure by the Ukon's apprentice who took care of him since died. Do you know what? Screw this. I'm not reading this story because it's so long and I've made some mistakes on there. Anyway, he's not on a timeline creature. So, where in Gears 3, Adam Phoenix actually set off the emulsion countermeasure and destroyed the locusts. In this timeline, that never happened. Just fix the trapper. That never happened. And that is because this guy assassinated Adam Phoenix before he did it. In which, in this storyline, the locusts win. And this was actually suggested to me, this idea was suggested to me by someone else I know, a good friend of mine on Facebook and Instagram. They suggested, why don't I make like this kind of a character? And I did. I made Bossk. So he's got this little dart gun on his arm. He's got Theron-ish arm. He's got a little remote there to control the dart. He's got this little chin piece here. And yeah, I just thought, it's, yet again, very simple, very easy, but a nice little character to talk about. Right, so I saw one more character close by to Bossk. Now, yet again, this guy's simple, very easy. He shouldn't have a long story. No, he doesn't. Okay, so let me just move this guy over and move this guy over. And now we've got, right, Marty McFly as a gear. So, simple story is, something happened to the DeLorean. He ends up not only going through time, but actually traveling different worlds. And what happens is, the flux capacitor ends up basically blowing up in the car. And shoots him through these different planets. And he ends up crashing and landing on Serra. When he awakens, he's in the middle of a field during the war, in which he sees Old Man Baird grabbing him by the back of the neck, picking him up and said, "Where's your armor, Private?" And then basically kicks his ass towards a place to get some armor and a weapon. And yeah, he's stranded. No one knows where he is, where he's gone. And he's ended up on Serra, and he's become a soldier. So the only reason I did this was just because this face sculpt makes me laugh no end. Seeing this baby face guy on a gear, I could not stop laughing. So I thought, all right, I'll make him a soldier. You know, turn him into something he has no idea what he's doing. All right. This video is already 15 minutes long. Is there any other close customs I can talk about, or do I have to start making my way up? Alright, so I can talk about a couple of them, because I know some of these are easy to talk about. This guy here, let me fix the focus. He's actually based on a friend of mine called Ricardo. I love winding him up. Me and him have really good chemistry when it comes to me pissing him off and him not liking it. So I made a custom head based on my friend. This is quite literally what he looks like. it's actually very close to what he looks like. Minus the bandage on the nose. Yet again, that was due to a sculpting error. I did that just to hide that. But yeah, so this is pretty much how he looks in life. And I said to him that I wanted to make a character that just in stories keeps getting killed by the locusts in different ways. And yeah, he wasn't happy with that. This is his helmet that I did for him. This came out wrong in the resin process. It came out quite squidged. So it's just more of a kind of accessory piece. Sorry that the camera keeps going in and out of focus. As you can tell, I've not done videos for a long time, so a lot of things keep going wrong. So I apologise for that. Another quick and easy custom to talk about is Nathan Drake from Uncharted. While he was off on a secret mission for himself to try and earn some money and get some recognition, he came across an artifact. And when he touched that artifact, kind of similar to McFly, this artifact opened up a porthole in which it sucked him through, and he ended up on a battlefield, pretty much a similar place. But this time, instead of Old Man Baird, it was actually Old Man Cole. And he threw him a gun and said, "What are you doing? Get shooting." And then after that, he ended up making his own armor, in which he attached these searchlights and this little portable medipack. So yeah, just another fun custom. But by the way, when he went through the porthole, it turned his hair grey. It made him look older, which I kind of like. Just to give him that slight difference. Who else is an easy one? Okay, so this guy is an easy custom to talk about. Oh, knocking him over. Just pick this guy up for a second. There you go. So this custom was based on a Gears 3 character you see very briefly at the end of Gears 3. When you've beaten the game, there's like these cog soldiers like patting Cole on his back because they've all won the war against the Locust. He's one of them. This helmet, this body, and he's a mechanic. So I just thought, okay, so what I've done was I slightly changed the paint on the chest plate. It's usually like a metallic blue. I did like a silver. I brightened up a little bit of the metal on the sides, on the belt, just to make him look that little bit different compared to the other ones. And yeah, just gave him this helmet, which is what he has. So yet again, another simple custom. I kind of like the easier customs in a way. So that helps me out. This guy is quite simple to talk about as well. So this guy, he actually hasn't really got a name. I did a diorama. I made my first diorama, and if you guys are interested in seeing that, let me know. This guy was a soldier who was found in this diorama who had actually taken his own life due to the amount of stress that the war had on him. So yeah, and yet again, this was a resin casted helmet that went wrong, so I just gave him a normal chin with a beard and mustache underneath instead of anything else. Then there's two more easier customs to talk about, and then I'll start looking for stories, because I think these stories are more towards the top of my Instagram page. So I'll start scrolling down again. So I'll talk about this guy. He is basically just a cog soldier, but I did this resin casted helmet myself. Yeah, that's pretty much all that's different about him. I did some like metal weathering to the cog suit just to make it look a bit more rustic. But yeah, other than that, it's just a different helmet, differently painted by me. But that's pretty much it with him. And then yet again, talking about differently painted, we've got this guy. Now this guy is also a Gears of War character. In Gears of War 2, when you're standing on Bessie, there is a cog soldier standing next to you, and he has a grey variant helmet of Anthony's helmet. It's a grey and blue variant. So yet again, resin casted, and I just did this. You know, I just made this helmet to turn him into a real soldier, and by far he's one of my favorite like helmet paints and customs, because he's so simple, but yet that helmet, it doesn't actually look like Anthony's because of the color change. It looks different. You only notice it by design, which is pretty nice, and I'm happy with him. So now, let's start scrolling for these guys. I know I have stories for them all, and I will tell these stories. Hopefully they're not too long. But yeah, so I appreciate your patience, and there's been a lot of mess ups in this video, but like I said, it's been a hell of a long time for me to, to do these kind of videos again. So it's been a while. Alright, so here we go. We'll talk about this guy. So this guy is known as the Grub Buster. Yep, the Grub Buster. Just dropped his weapon. Let's just sort him out for a minute. Yeah, so the Grub Buster. Here we go. So let's do his story and then more in depth on the helmet and the armor. So he is Gilderoy Bronk, also known as the Grub Buster. Lieutenant Baird made a prototype suit with the strength of a berserker and a prototype gun with the bullets the power of the Hammer of Dawn. So now it's time to bust some grubs. So he is a pretty much enhanced soldier, and this suit was made by Baird for him. So let's do a close-up of the helmet. Yet again, this is a resin printed helmet by a great friend of mine on Instagram called Instagram called Custom Combatants. Such a friendly bloke, such a lovely bloke. He sent me 3 helmets for free, all resin printed, and yeah, this is all hand painted by me. And this was such a fun project. It's quite a bigger helmet compared to most other Gears helmets, so I just thought it would fit really well with this armor, and I really wanted to make this project. The gun's been painted by me as well. So yeah, that's Gilderoy Bronk, the Grub Buster. Right. Now there's 4 more guys left. Who will be the first to talk about? Oh, wait, here we go. I think it's this guy. Don't be a long story. Damn it! It's a long story. Okay. So, there is this guy. It's very different from the other customs you have seen. And here's why. Private Gordon Garrison. On his first day, he was getting his armor on when his crew was suddenly crushed by a lambent stalk, and from across the base, he saw a swarm of lambent heading the way. He grabbed what armor he had and some spare ammo pouches, a couple of weapons, and he ran away. He deserted. He hid from everything and everyone for 2 years. But after the first year of being alone, he learned how to hunt and kill. He also came across many locusts, lambent, and stranded. He successfully killed every threat to his existence, and he wondered to himself, if I can do all this on my own, maybe, just maybe, I could return to the cog. Maybe they'll forgive me. When he returned, Sergeant Phoenix greeted him, and he was covered in human, locust, and lambent blood, almost drowned in the stuff. Marcus didn't see a deserter. He saw a survivor, and that's what the cog needed. Welcome aboard, kid. Don't run away this time, or I'll kill you myself. Marcus grunted at him. You've got it, sir. I'm tired of running. So, yeah, so pretty much this guy was a coward to start off. And then, obviously, as you can see, he is splattered and littered in blood. He's even made his own custom weapon. And yeah, he's actually really articulated. He's got like double jointed knees. He's only got single hinge arms, but like he's still got full motion. And I managed to connect a wrestler's arms to these Gears 3 butterfly joints. Helmet yet again, resin casted and painted by me, which was fun, really fun to do. And yeah, just another very quick custom. I actually made him in like half an hour. So that was fun. Oh, hang on. I think I see the next guy. Here we go. Slightly long story, but not so much. Oh, there we go. This guy, the guy I have been looking the most forward to actually talking about, and I know that sounds horrible, but it's true. The Crimson Omen soldier, a soldier with the urge to help but not kill. He found some rusted up armor, spray painted it blood red. When the gears are wandering round and they see the Crimson Omen on the walls, it's him warning his fellow soldiers where there's been death and where there are locusts ahead. He never gets seen and no one knows who he is, but he will continue to help for as long as he can keep hidden. So yeah, I incorporated the Crimson Omen symbol into an actual person who spray paints it on the walls. I did his helmet design like the Crimson Smile. His armor's black and blood red. And yeah, just another super fun, awesome character to make and to bring to life, and I enjoyed every second of it. So now we have two more people to talk about, and their story is told in the same story. Here we go. So we have this person here, and we have this person here. This person doesn't like to stand very much. Here we go. Lothar and Nicola Brandber. Yeah, Brandber. Yeah. Brother and sister in the COG army. Lothar, the older brother, had a Microbox games console, pre-emergence day, and his favourite game was called Doom. Although Nicola, she had a different game. Hers was Halo. When old enough and joined the military, they were informed where they were going to be placed and that they would need helmets for protection. Nicola came up with the idea to ask the techs to make special request helmets, as now her and her brother are a sergeant and lieutenant, and so they rock their gaming helmets in their COG armor. So this is Nicola. She is a female gear. I know she looks exactly the same as the male gears, but yet again in this armor you wouldn't really notice a difference. You know, this armor is always going to be big and bulky, so it works. And this is obviously Lothar. These helmets were also resin printed, sent by Custom Combatants, yet again, hand painted by me, but the sculpting and printing was all done by him. And like I said, he's a freaking genius at this stuff. And yeah, I mean, I really loved painting these things up. They're not the usual helmets I paint, but I had so much fun, especially doing the nice bronze visor for the Halo helmet. That was awesome. And that is it. That is absolutely it. So that is all the customs that I haven't shown, bar one, but she's going to get her own video. But my top my top 5 customs out of most recent is this guy. I love the helmet work I did for him. Is the Omen, because it was nice to bring that kind of character to life. Nathan Drake, adding him to any universe is a crap ton of fun. The mechanic, just because of the fact that bringing these in-game characters that didn't get figures to life just for simple fixing, like that was awesome. I had lots of fun, but my absolute go-to is Sergeant Bull. He is, in total, he is my second favourite custom I've ever made, and he looks the most realistic in terms of if he was to get released, he would actually look like he's been released by the company. And that's not my words. I have had numerous people tell me this. Everyone who knows me knows I don't like my own work. I don't compliment my own work. But in terms of how I felt about making these guys, how they turned out, Sergeant Bull is my go-to favourite. Anyway, this video is 30 minutes long. It's a very long video. I've got a lot of figures to put back on the shelves. So take care, you wonderful people. Thank you for watching. Thank you for your continuous support. And there'll be more in future. Bye for now.